A potentially life-saving treatment for heart attack victims have been discovered from a very unlikely source. The venom of one of the world's deadliest spiders. Research Institute and the University of Queensland have managed to isolate the venom and develop into a potentially new drug that's helping victims and heart donors. And that is the Chang Institute involved in all of this. Joining me live now is Professor Peter Macdonald from the Chang Cardiac Research Institute. Professor Peter Macdonald, whenever I talk to you, I think, what have I been doing with my life this whole time? Because you made another amazing discovery. You do such great work at the Institute. I mean, my first question is, how do you possibly discover this from a funnel web spider? And is it dangerous work?
Look, I'm not the right person to answer that question. It's more a case of working with the clever people. My colleagues in the University of Queensland, Glenn King in particular, and Nathan Pelpan, was Glenn, who's a venom toxicologist who would identify this potential drug, and he initially tested it in a stroke model and found it to be very protective in that setting. And when I saw that data, I was really keen to test it in our heart models, and we found it to be just as protective in the heart as it is in the brain. And we think that gives it enormous potential, not just for heart transplantation, which is the specialty that I work in, but more broadly for heart attack victims, stroke victims, people who have collapse in the street and where both the brain and the heart are in jeopardy.
Well, Professor, I'm glad to hear that you don't have to handle funnel web spiders on a day-to-day basis, because that would be a cruel and unusual punishment for all the work that you do at Chang. But have you been able to use this successfully in patients yet? And how hopeful are you that this can be quite widespread?
Yeah, look, we're not at the point of clinical trials yet. We've got some more experimental work to do, but we hope to complete that by probably early 2022, which will then, and if that all goes well, then we hope to start clinical trials with this new drug in the next, towards the end of 2022. We think that initially we'll be looking to apply it in our heart transplant, for heart transplantation. We think it has the potential to increase the number of heart transplants that we do by perhaps as much as a third on top of what we can do currently. And if things go well there, then we'll be looking also to expand it to look at its use in heart attacks and strokes.
Well, that is very good news indeed. Professor Peter Macdonald, great to talk to you as always. And I don't know how our viewers feel about these funnel web spiders on their screen this morning, but It is all for a good cause. Thanks so much for your time. We'll speak soon.
Thank you.